It deeply cleanses your skin to help get rid of excess oil and dirt, so your skin feels refreshed. The new skincare range from Gillette.
This is NDTV, and you're watching NDTV 24/7.
Hello and welcome to The Big Fight. The Lokpal bill is back in the headlines and back on The Big Fight. I have to say it's been one of the defining features of 2011, the number of shows we've done on the Lokpal. Once again, here we are taking a look at what the specific bill which is before the Parliament actually says and what should it say. And also some really interesting new controversies that have arisen. Anna Hazare on a hunger strike. Where should he be on a hunger strike? What is this new minorities quota? And of course the usual issues around the CBI and everything else. So we have a very special panel with us once again to discuss all the aspects and ramifications of this. From the Congress Party MP from the Rajya Sabha, Mr. Satyavrat Chaturvedi, great to have you with us on the Big Fight, sir. Shazia Ilmi, member of Team Anna, thanks for being back with us, Shazia, once again on this particular subject. Rahul Narvekar, the head of the legal side of the Shiv Sena, great to have you with us, Rahul. We have with us, of course, Shahid Siddiqui, General Secretary of the RLD. Srivatsa Krishna, serving IAS officer, who's here though in his personal capacity and wants us to make that clarification. Amitabh Pandey, former secretary as well. Thank you so much for being with us, all of you. Shazia, can I just start with you? You know, there are some people who are wondering whether you're protesting too much now. There is a Lokpal bill which is there in Parliament. A lot of your demands have actually been accepted. But yet there's a new hunger strike and you wanted a discounted hunger strike in a particular Maidan. Is it time to let Parliament do something for now?
Well, sure, we've been waiting for Parliament to debate this issue for the longest period. Now. Finally, after the FDI, logjam and all of that. But what kind of a Lokpal do we want? Why do we want a Lokpal? And what kind of a Lokpal is it going to be? If it's going to be just symbolism of sorts and tokenism that you want a Lokpal and here it is, it doesn't make sense. it has to meet the rationale of a Lokpal.
But if can I just say, Prime Minister, of your demand, Prime Minister is now in. The CBI, in some sense, you can supervise. You can supervise. There is a Lokpal. A lot of those demands are there. There is a citizens' charter. So, do you think it's time to just say, okay, let's just pause on the hunger strikes for a little bit. Let's see how it works out. And then, if it's not working out, or if there are malified intents, maybe we can be back again on the streets. Give them a chance, is what some people are saying.
See, look at the track record for the last 42 years and this 1 year since Anna began his fast. To centre stage the issue and to be an advocacy group and to exercise pressure and to remind parliamentarians as to what their duty should be towards addressing a key concern. That's what Anna talks about. Now, it's not about us being flexible. We are not we're not a party that, you take away CBI, give us PM. It's not one of those things. It's why do we want a Lokpal and what purpose is a Lokpal going to serve?
Okay.
In a democracy like ours, there will never be same opinion across the board. There will be different opinions, and it's very natural in a democracy that you have different opinions. They are fully entitled to their opinion, yes. As far as the civil society is concerned, nobody disputes the contribution of the civil society in bringing about on the main national agenda the issue of corruption, which otherwise was taking a back seat. Nobody denies that fact. But when it comes to Lokpal bill, which is now tabled, and after I went through the provisions of the Lokpal bill, even if I were not a congressman, I would say it's a very good bill to come. Most of the demands raised by...
You don't agree. Why isn't it a good bill?
Most of the demands raised by opposition, most of the demands raised by the civil society have been met with. But let me make it very clear. If someone feels or some group feels that each and every comma and full stop should be included as per their wish, I'm sorry, in a democracy this doesn't happen.
That's a cliche. If the way we suggest is not good enough, have a stricter way. But don't give us what you've given us. For instance, in the Lokpal itself, only 5% of government employees are covered, or bureaucrats, group A, B, and C, and D. As far as politicians are concerned, only 10% are concerned because MPs are out of it, but only ministers are. If you look at the math.
MPs are within it.
No, MPs within the jurisdiction of the CBI.
All the ministers.
Okay, let me read out something. Let me read out. Something new has happened.
All the MPs are within the jurisdiction of Lokpal. Don't misread, please.
Something new that has been added, which was not there, which is not part of Prevention of Corruption Act or definition of a public servant. Any person who is or has been a director, manager, secretary or other officer of every other society or association of persons in receipt of any donation from the public, and the annual income of which exceeds such amount as the central government may by notification specify, no specification, or from other foreign source under the foreign contribution in excess of 10 lakh rupees in a year or such high amounts as the central government.
You're going to read the entire bill. What is the upshot of what you're saying?
What she's saying is that NGOs are under...
No, she's not saying RWAs, every youth club, every dharmic sansthan, every charitable trust.
What are they rules?
They all
every
take
peon
donations.
is, why can't they be?
Every madrasa, every imam, every bishop.
So you're saying they should be under the Lokpal?
No, we're not saying that. They've included them. So they've made it anti-people, they've excluded public servants, and they've got public in. And then they keep accusing us of being unwieldy.
The problem is they didn't want MNC, NGOs to come in the purview of Lokpal.
Let the NGOs come in.
They didn't want the corporates to come into the purview of Lokpal.
No, in fact, you have had the corporates.
And since they have been included, they have a different reason to oppose this bill.
That is not true.
And if that is the reason to oppose the bill, we would rather welcome
I'm reading this out. It's here. It's
fine. Let me get the others in. Rahul, Shiv Sena in particular is dead opposed to even the government version of the Lokpal bill. Why?
Shiv Sena is as committed and concerned about corruption in this country as the so-called civil society, as any other party in this nation, any other entity or organization.
You may be opposed to what the Anna movement is doing for that particular reason, but why are you opposed to what the government is bringing in?
No. What we are saying is there are enough legislations in this country to deal with corruption.
But they haven't succeeded till now.
The problem is with implementation. Let me tell you, the penal code that is operational, Indian Penal Code, the criminal law that is applicable in this country, identical laws are applicable in Singapore. Despite that, the criminal justice system in Singapore is working just fine.
So it's
Why is it not working here?
So you don't need a law, you only need an implementation. Shazia, you want to comment on that before I go to the others? The law is fine, you just need to implement it better. That's what he's saying.
No, this is what the Lokpal does. It also talks about implementation. What exactly is the problem with law which prevents its implementation is exactly what the Lokpal addresses.
What the Lokpal is doing is, it is watering down the role of the parliament. It is making the parliament subservient.
It's reminding the parliamentarians what their role should be towards the people.
It is destroying the federal structure of the country. It is acting against the democratic principles of this country.
All Lokpals. Any Lokpal will do that, you're saying?
The current Lokpal bill which is tabled.
So he wants it even more watered down.
That is the government bill. So you're talking about the government bill.
I am talking about
you're saying even the government bill is...
I don't see it as... I only recognize a bill which is tabled in parliament. I don't agree or recognize any other
so there's a bill... Okay, so hang on.
Which has been brought up by any particular group.
Fine, so let me just sum this up.
That's the irony. There are some who say it's a watered down, it's a diluted bill which has been brought. There are other political parties in this very system who say that it is a draconian law. Too much powers have been given to the Lokpal. Okay. Now two very divergent views coming. Right. Which to accept and which not.
We should have actually sat you between both of them. So let me see what the others are saying. Shahid, what's your view?
Vikram, we must face what is the real issue. Real issue is corruption, not Lokpal. Team Anna is trying to oversimplify this very complex problem which has grown over the years. In the last 64 years, corruption has entered every sphere of life. And it will not be simple to get rid of corruption. Lokpal can be one of that. But if you try to turn Lokpal into a super power not accountable to anybody, Lokpal itself will become a huge problem for the system.
Let me just get a couple of views from, and I want to then go into specific elements so that it doesn't become three politicians versus Shazia, which is threatening to happen at this particular stage. But let me get a couple of views from the bureaucracy, if you like. Srivatsa, the present bill, that is the government version, does it bridge a lot of the flaws or the gaps that we were worrying about earlier, or does it not? Or does it go too far?
In some senses, they've given them more than what they asked. Read section 25 of the bill. It says exactly, it's a copy of the CRPC where it says Lokpal will have full control over inquiry and investigation of the CBI to the cases that they refer to it, which is what they've been asking all through, provided they don't give a specific direction to it And under the section 173 of CRPC, even the Supreme Court in India cannot tell an IO, an investigating officer, file a case against him, go raid this house, stop that car, include these people in the charge sheet. Even the Supreme Court can't do it. So Lokpal obviously should not be getting those powers. But ironically, if you read section 20, subsection 7, there they've given them powers to either file a charge sheet or close a case, which actually, to my understanding of law, it will be violative of several Supreme Court judgments.
Okay, I want to come to each of these points in some detail.
One other point, Vikram. On the issue of bureaucracy, I think the law is way too stringent. I think it does, by removing permission for sanction for prosecution, 6A, or a single directive which we've talked about, it is going to be a huge disincentive for the honest officers to perform even when they want to. The inertia of the honest is soon going to overtake the cost of the corruption or the dishonest.
Okay, Amitabh, is that a genuine concern that you have in general? I mean, because this is something which, frankly, we've been hearing the counter of for a while, that is there too much, are we ending up with a slightly McCarthyistic view on life? Which
See, let's be very clear. This is not a fight against corruption. It's a fight for creating a monster bureaucracy. The conflation of the issue of creation of Lokpal with the issue of fighting against corruption is absolutely wrong. It's a misnomer to think that by creating Lokpal you are solving the issue of corruption. And I quite agree that one has to focus on the issue of corruption, which requires far-reaching reforms in governance, which is an issue which we are not looking at all. We are concentrating on creating a super police agency which will create a culture of fear. It will create and the culture of fear is something which deters the honest from doing anything.
You're saying that's there in the government draft?
Whether it is the government draft, whether it is the other draft, the concept of the Lokpal itself is absolutely it will going to irreparably damage the fabric of our parliamentary democracy.
Would you agree with that view? Is it too extreme?
I will not agree entirely with what he's saying, but I agree with the sense behind this. The fact of the matter is that the corruption being a multipolar evil of the society, it needs to be confronted on different poles with different apparatuses. Now, you cannot have a silver bullet to shoot at corruption and eradicate corruption entirely in this system, which has been, rotten right from top to bottom. Let's be frank and let's be straight on this issue. Now, what we are looking at, do we sit hands folded and do nothing about it? We can't do that. So we need to have some apparatus which would at least be effective to the extent of reducing this corruption to a level where people could at least take a little breath and little satisfaction that yes, they have been able to bring it back. What's wrong with saying that you have to, at the end of the day? Even Anna has repeatedly said that this Lokpal which he is proposing, if it is verbatim enacted, that would even eradicate corruption or reduce corruption to 60% level. That is what Anna has said.
So what he is saying, but he is saying that you can't at the end of the day do nothing.
Corruption being eradicated completely by any law.
But he is saying that you can't do nothing. And if you are saying let's not do nothing, then that's also wrong. Amitabh, is that what you're saying?
Don't do something
not at all. We're saying that focus on governance reforms. Yes. Don't look at creating another bureaucracy. What does another bureaucracy do? It only centralizes power, creates more avenues for corruption. It creates anti-corruption corruption as a new form of corruption. So instead of that,
I think
focus
we need to have a system in place to address the issue.
Shazia? Let me get Shazia and come back to Srivatsa.
I think you need to have a system in place with checks and balances to make a good anti-corruption staff, to create the staff which addresses the issue. Right now we have none. Right now if you want to make a FIR against corruption, you don't even know where to go. You know, CBI has jurisdiction over all employees, and they're looking at. One more thing: either you accept it as a fait accompli, or you can keep pitting, Lokpal against police reforms, administrative reforms, and keep pitting one against the other and not make a beginning. But I think it's important to address the issue, to have a good beginning, to address, what corruption is defined as prevention of corruption. Talk about Narega, talk about PDS, talk about all the Sarkari schemes that are being the everyday leakages, and the beneficiaries of those great schemes on which we spend crores and crores of rupees not be misspent.
What I understand from what Mr. Chaturvedi and what Shazia have said is the present laws in this country are inadequate to deal with corruption. If that's the case, what has the Congress government been doing, who've ruled this country for over 50 years? For the last 50 years, why haven't they taken any action? If laws were insufficient, they should have acted well in advance. The point is, laws are there in place, but they have failed to implement them correctly.
Yes, implementation makes all the difference. But who will come and implement? Is it going to come from some Mangal Greh? No. It is from this very society. No, it is from this very society. This very society which is breeding corruption in almost every field. So, how can we be sure that whatever we enact as a law, because we have had in the past seen several schemes, best of schemes being flouted away because the implementation was loose. The mechanism that is responsible for implementing these schemes has been loose, and therefore these schemes have gone to dogs. And this is where I also fear, as an individual, as a citizen of this country, not as a member of parliament, I also fear you bring about whatever law you want to. But ultimately, who's going to implement it? Are you sure that you will not have a corrupt Lokpal?
One small point.
Are you sure?
Shazia described the ailment perfectly, but it's the solution where they have failed. The biggest crisis of the fallout of this bill is going to be that the expectations of an effective Lokpal have been built up sky high among the people, everyone including me. And the first time the Lokpal stumbles and falls, which promise you it will, 60 lakh Group C employees, let's just for argument's sake assume that only 1/3 of them are corrupt, 20 lakhs. Let's assume only 10 lakhs of them you get complaints against. And 2 complaints a year. 20 lakh complaints are going to be handled by a CVC which is understaffed. And by a Lokpal, 9 members, it will kill the institution.
I don't know
which
what
is why well-meaning people, all along have been saying that there are 2 birds and you need 2 stones to kill these 2 separate birds. High-level corruption and transactional corruption cannot be killed by the same institution.
Okay. Shazia?
No, first of all, it's not going to be a 9-member body. It is multi-tiered, single body, not centralized. Centralized and single are different. What we are saying is if there's corruption, let's say there's a PWD engineer, junior engineer, who is working in tandem with the assistant engineer and the chief engineer and the higher-ups, you're not going to go to 2 bodies. Right now, what the government bill says, please hear me out. What is the government suggestion? The jurisdiction of Group C and Group D employees, it will be taken care of by CVC. Lokpal will receive complaints. Lokpal will forward these complaints to CVC. CVC, which right now has 234 members only, right now, total staff, out of which there are only 40 inquiry officers, will look at the graft of 57 lakhs.
Can I just ask you, how many people in your version of the Lokpal? So, Shazia, the big question is, in your version of the Lokpal, if the Lokpal had to investigate every single complaint against every single section, C, D, government servant, how many people would you need to be able to carry out the investigation?
And where are they going to come from?
Hang on. How many people would you need? 30,000, 40,000?
We signed a treaty that United Nations against. No, it's 200 to 1. That is international ratio. No, so we thought of 30,000 was a total staff that had to be. This is smaller than any PSU.
So you're saying that the Lokpal should have a staff of 30,000 people.
But we need to have an anti-corruption department.
I'm asking you, staff which they are talking about, which they are going to depend on, is the same pool of bureaucrats.
You want to get a 30,000?
They have doubted their integrity. So are they again going to depend on those very bureaucrats?
So Shazia, their point is where are you going to get 30,000 people whom you're sure are going to be having integrity?
That is a big question.
You can't even get 50 people.
That is a big question. Where are you going to get these 30,000 honest people which you can identify and make sure they're honest?
I'm saying you can't even get 50 people. If you look at railways, listen to me, let me finish. If you have railways, it will be difficult to find even one person who's not. But if you look at Delhi Metro, if you look at the system that's working, Sridharan, if you look at 8,000 people, there is no corruption there.
Even among the 5 of the Lokpal,
you're assuming that the Lokpal system will be such, because they're working in the Lokpal, you're sure that they will be...
I'm saying you have checks and measures, have safeguards, but have a system in place.
Well, let me now turn to Chandan, who's come in and joined us. Chandan, the entire debate essentially is about whether are they being too sticky, the Anna Hazare movement, in other words, of insisting their specific version, and also whether we are creating a super bureaucracy in some sense by the Lokpal itself. Well, you support the concept of a Lokpal?
Yes, of course, I support the concept of Lokpal, and I also support the concept of an independent CBI. So I think it's very important that the CBI gets the kind of powers free of government control. Unless the CBI is freed of government control, particularly on the administration side, Lokpal is meaningless. To that extent, I agree with the position that's being taken by Team Anna. As far as super bureaucracy is concerned, I do have a concern there is a possibility that, we'll end up creating such a huge mechanism and structure that bureaucracy in itself will generate so much
30,000 people is what Shazia was saying might be required. Actually, you have to find 30,000 honest people somewhere.
Yeah, it may just create such a huge red tape that will find that the remedy is worse than the disease. So there is a danger. I think we need to be very, very clear.
Okay, so that's insofar as the C and D employees are concerned. Let's just look at the CBI point which Chandan was talking about. What is your objection to saying that the CBI in some extent has to be independent from the government? Because CBI has always been used.
Who is saying it should not? It should be independent. How can you make for the independence of the CBI? There are two ways of doing it. There are administrative and financial powers, which the government has kept to itself. And ideally, it should have been with the Lokpal. But the investigative powers on which Lokpal has been given full control. Now, suppose CBI also investigates an Arushi case. Why should the Lokpal have control over that?
Sure, but anti-corruption.
Anti-corruption.
So why, Shazia, are you saying that the CBI is not going to be independent now?
Because right now there'll be duplicity of agencies. You can refer the cases to the CBI or to Lokpal. Lokpal has not been given any administrative powers, as he's saying. I think is incorrect. It's not been given. Lokpal has been given the powers to.
It's not been given.
It's not been given.
Yeah.
Lokpal can initiate the inquiry. It's called preliminary inquiry, which might not even be needed, which will actually create a hurdle for the CBI. The problem with CBI essentially is that it's in the hands of, it's like used as a handmaiden for the ruling party, for their political needs, political compulsions, to run coalitions and what have you. So the idea was to free the CBI, the Central Investigative Agency, from the clutches of the government. That was the idea.
Does the government bill free the CBI or does it not?
The central issue about CBI was its impartiality and its fairness. People having doubted CBI because of the controls that the government has and the way the government appoints the director and the senior officers, etc., that prompts to a feeling that, well, CBI would be subservient to the wishes of the government. Okay, that is where this bill comes in and says, well, now onwards, the CBI director and senior officers of CBI will not be selected by government alone. It will be selected by a committee which will consist of Prime Minister, which will consist of leader of opposition in Lok Sabha, and will have Chief Justice of India on the panel. This committee with Chief Justice of India, leader of opposition and Prime Minister will select the CBI senior officers, which ensures the impartiality of those and the control that otherwise the government used to have would slacken down,
and therefore the impartiality any such thing is going to happen. We have seen the Prime Minister and the leader of the opposition being jointly involved in the selection of the Chief Vigilance Commissioner.
What happened there.
And you know what happened there.
CJI,
but also an eminent jurist. Also an eminent jurist. 3 out of 5. No, 1 minute. There are 3 out of 5 in that committee. 3 out of 5 will be government nominees. 3 out of 5, only leader of the opposition and Chief Justice are non-government people. So I think that changes nothing. And more importantly, it is not the director alone. The CBI does not run only on the director. Suppose the system is actually perfect and very, very, perfectly, transparently the director is selected. As long as transfers and postings of CBI officers remains in the hands of the government, there is no way you can ensure that the government will not exercise pressure on the CBI to play up or play down cases.
I don't think with regards to the impartiality of the Election Commission, anyone has a doubt with regards to that so far, touch wood. Why can't we have the same system in place? Why do we need any rocket science? Why do we need some rocket science, some new panel coming up to decide anything of that sort?
You have Election Commission.
Can I just ask you?
The problem is the so-called civil society wants their way or the highway. You either agree with them or you're corrupt. That's the bottom line.
Okay, Chandan, I'm actually quite confused. How come the Shiv Sena and the Congress are so much in sync on this subject and the Shiv Sena and the BJP are so much not in sync?
Well, you must ask Satyavrat ji, because I have no information why...
No, but the Shiv Sena seems to be agreeing with what they are saying, not with what you're saying.
Yeah, because Shiv Sena is not alone. Mr. Lalu Yadav, Mr. Mulayam Singh Yadav...
But they're not necessarily your allies.
Yes, they're all...
But they're not your allies.
They are not our allies.
So, can I just allow me to sow some dissension for a minute?
Political interest, and that's why we have our own stand.
So you do disagree with what the BJP is saying on this?
We don't disagree.
You don't- No, do you disagree with what BJP is saying on this or no?
We have put forth our view in Parliament. I think every party should put forth their view, and the Parliament, in its collective wisdom, will take a decision.
Okay, let me get one more political view and then I'm going to take a
They
break.
have a case against Anna Hazare. They've called him Gangotri of corruption. And
There are
there's a
several
defamation
cases
case.
against several leaders. There are
Suresh
several
Dada Jain.
cases.
So they're going by the earlier stand. They have a problem with Anna Hazare, not with the
I think these are baseless allegations which Team
What's the
Anna has
case?
been
The
always
case is
making.
going- case
So
is
I
going
don't
on.
think there is any merit
Rahul,
in
the
this.
case going on. It's reported every day.
So are you trying to say, in view of that case, we've taken this stand?
No,
I mean,
I'm saying,
there could be anything more ridiculous than that.
No, but I want to point that out, that this is also, it's also
These are the cries of a losing soldier, that's all.
Oh.
Okay, you've actually, I think Sanjay Raut also called the Lokpal Gaddafi. I mean,
That's what it's turning out to become.
Gaddafi.
It looks like it.
And
the
look
way
who's
they're
talking.
moving.
Guys, Shiv Sena guys are calling us Gaddafi. Look who's talking.
That's exactly what they're trying to put out.
Okay. On that note, let me get Shahid's view, then Amitabh, then I want to take a break.
You're funny, Rahul.
We accept that what they are doing honestly, and they will also have to understand.
Do you think they're Gaddafi also or no?
Let's. I'm making a serious point that we don't doubt the honesty of Team Anna. And Team Anna should also not doubt the honesty of all those politicians, whether it's a Lalu or it's a Mulayam or it's Shiv Sena or anyone else who is questioning the idea of Lokpal, the way it is being brought about, the bill. Because we are concerned that this ultimately is going to disturb the whole checks and balances, whole separation of power, on which we have 64 years, we have built this nation.
Okay, I'm going to take a break, then I'm going to come to something else.
This nation has...
Amitabh, then I have to take a break.
Please let me finish. Please let me finish.
Yeah. I also think that this notion of an independent, unaccountable CBI is fraught with great danger.
An independent CBI is dangerous.
An independent CBI is danger. We are premised on the basis of democratic accountability and democratic controls. And we have to ensure that there is democratic supervision over agencies like CBI.
Then doesn't it just become a handmaiden of the government then?
Vikram.
No, not of the government. It has to be some form of democratic
CBI will in all situations. CBI in all situations will remain accountable to Parliament.
They have their acts to grant.
So that is the democratic
police officers in the past, we have seen whether in the CBI or elsewhere, in order to promote themselves or their own interests, they have gone out of their way, and if they are not controlled, they can be extremely dangerous.
I want to take a break right now.
We have seen what they've done. We have seen what they've done in Kashmir. We have seen what they've done in so many places. So don't think that CBI, independent CBI will be...
There is something else which is missing us. Fact of the matter is, which is not known to the even general public. There are certain intelligence, certain very sensitive intelligence that the CBI conducts. And you do not know what kind of a repercussion will it have on the national security once you talk. It's very sweet to say, it's very nice to say here that CBI should be totally independent of the system. No intelligence agency in the world has ever been placed absolutely independent of government, and it cannot be done. It's not in the national security interest.
Okay, I'm going to take a break, then I want to come back to another issue which has been extremely controversial, which is the entire question of a reservation of a minority quota and other reservations within the Lokpal. That's actually also kicked quite a hornet's nest in the last few days. We'll turn our attention to that when we come back after this break.
Attention all service tax assessees. E-filing of service tax returns is now mandatory. And remember, 26 December 2011 is now the last date for filing your half-yearly service tax return. So log on to these websites, Customs and Central Excise.
निभाएं जिंदगी की सबसे बड़ी जिम्मेदारी सिर्फ 10 मिनट में ऑनलाइन लॉग ऑन करें या फिर अपने एडवाइजर को कॉल करें.
He rides like a breeze through coconut trees.
देखा एमरॉन नहीं तो लॉन्ग लाइफ नहीं, क्योंकि सिर्फ एमरॉन में सिल्वर जो देता है इसे लॉन्ग लाइफ. एमरॉन सिल्वर टिंग सिल्वर टोंग.
VDOT. If we don't, turn it on.
Supermax 3. The 3-blade disposable, so good, you won't want to throw it away.
HP Pavilion notebooks powered by 2nd Gen Intel Core i5 processors, now with blazing fast data speeds from MTS and Blaze.
Create, share, and shine on with HP, MTS, and Intel.
Have you ever wondered how many germs you touch while you use the toilet or while washing your hands with this soap? New Dettol No Touch. Now get Dettol protection with new No Touch technology for protected and clean hands. New Dettol No Touch. Dettol, be 100% sure.
Lotus Herbals presents Colors Golden Petal Awards powered by Dabur Almond Hair Oil. कल रात 8 बजे सिर्फ कलर्स पर.
Welcome back to The Big Fight. We're taking a look at the Lokpal, and now let's turn our attention to some new controversial things that have come up very recently, which is, of course, the entire concept of a reservation within the Lokpal panel, and specifically minority reservation there. Shahid, you have strong views on this.
Yes, I think it is unfortunate. There was just no need for it, because in this 9-member panel, if you have a person from the minority, which may mean a Sikh or a Christian or a Bodh or a Muslim, then how does it matter? What is important here is a man of impeccable character and integrity, not a Muslim. Because I'll prefer that government, if really is concerned about the situation of the minorities, they should have at least given 10% reservation to the minorities, or 15% as Justice Ranganath Commission says, by giving 1% there, because 30,000 which Shazia is talking of, there anyway that 4.5% will come, or whatever government reservations do come. Shoulders of the minorities have been used by so-called secular parties to achieve their political ends, and it is being done again and again and again, and we are tired of this.
Is that what's happening?
We to be used politically by these parties.
They don't want to be used politically by you, even though they are allies.
They are very dear citizens of this country, and they're dear to us. They may not want us to use them, and that's very natural, and we shouldn't be using them. But it doesn't mean that we shouldn't look after their welfare and their rights. It's very easy to say, we don't want this. Okay, fine, you don't want this, you don't go. You don't have it. But if I don't give it, then you will accuse us of saying that, well, look, you discriminated against minorities.
So has any
let me finish. Initially, this bill carried minority reservation like it's a widespread representative organization. When you're creating an organization of that magnitude, then you cannot make it disclusive. It has to be inclusive.
This reservation like this,
Shazia was there already.
Shazia is making one. Shazia, you're saying no bodies had.
No, I'm saying, what I'm saying is,
let Shazia speak one at a time. Shazia.
What I'm saying is that at the apex body, this is a 9-member body. So I don't think if you really want to serve the cause of Muslims and OBCs, having one member there at the apex body is needed. Soon you'll be asking for reservation in judiciary, in election commission. You'll say CAG should be opposed like that. Then you'll say even SEBI should have.
Today the Chief Election Commissioner is a Muslim. How does it matter?
Yeah.
He's there
and
because
he
is a man of integrity, not because he's a Muslim.
Yeah, I was going to make a point which Shahid has just made, that the President of India is a position which so many Muslims have held. Has there been a reservation? I mean, in CEC is a Muslim at the moment.
The
Chief Justice. Several Chief Justices. Wait, one minute, let me just complete. But look, the Congress is determined to scuttle this bill. They don't want it to go through. Which is why they've done something as unconstitutional as specify that not less than 50% will be reserved in the Lokpal panel. This flies in the face of successive Supreme Court judgments which says 50% is a ceiling. Now they have identified SC, ST, OBC, women, minority. 5 out of 9 are going to be reserved. That's more than 50% reservation.
No, hang on. So you're saying
that's unconstitutional. Second.
So you're saying they've deliberately made it unconstitutional, so it'll be struck down.
Yeah. Let me just complete. And then there has been no provision for religion-based reservation.
If it doesn't go through.
Even this job thing, how they'll go through, I don't know. But let me not confuse the two matters. But even the religion-based reservation is unconstitutional. So they know this will get knocked down. They want it knocked down. They want it knocked down.
Reservation should be there in government jobs.
Which is there.
That's a separate big fight I'm going to have next week.
Should be there, but we're talking only of Lokpal.
Can I ask if anybody else agrees with this conspiracy theory that they've done it deliberately so that the Lokpal gets knocked down? You agree with it?
They have done it deliberately. Congress has only introduced reservation into this policy. They have reflected their pseudo-secular nature. They have shown if they have the guts, they are not in a capacity to pass this bill as it is. If they have the guts, let them pass it. They will fall on their face when this matter goes to court.
Okay. Have you done this deliberately so it gets knocked out in court?
Vikram, now, everybody would remember, it's not something of the very far behind past. It were during the Prime Minister's all-party leaders meeting, it was an issue raised by several of the political parties in that meeting, that an inclusive shape or complexion should be given to the Lokpal. And therefore, it was on the advice and demand of several political parties that this reservation issue was taken up by government, and this was induced into or inducted.
Then why don't they have it for other
that is it.
bodies?
We didn't do it on our own. It was demanded by political parties, barring BJP. Others were demanding it, and they are demanding even today.
The others have been demanding many things. Have you ever considered?
Exactly.
Have you given?
What Mr. Chaturvedi is saying is Congress only plays to the galleries. That's what
but
he's saying.
he's
Not the question of galleries, my dear. There are political leaders who are going to vote in the House, and the government is supposed to carry them together.
You're supposed to take decisions which are in the interest of the country.
Is it true that a large number of parties have insisted? See, because at the end of the day, the BJP keeps saying that the Congress party should try and manufacture consensus around bills. So if there are a large number of parties demanding this, and there are a large number of parties demanding it, what the government is doing is to get them to back the bill. Is there something wrong with it?
Suddenly their heart bleeds for the large number of parties. For Lalu Yadav, who has 3 members in parliament, for Ramvilas Paswan, and they start saying that, we have to accommodate, we have to take them along. Their heart never bled for the CPM, when the CPM left on the nuclear bill, on FDI. This consensus manufacturing, when the largest opposition party opposes it, several others oppose it.
So would you join them back? Can I ask you, supposing they were to say, okay, we will not do this, you help them push through the Lokpal bill, would you do it?
Vikram, the Lokpal bill, where?
They can pass the Lokpal bill with your support by not bothering about Lalu Yadav and the others. Would you help them pass it?
They don't need our support. They don't need our support.
They will not support. And when we want the support of others, they will try and criticize us for that.
Either you help them pass it.
Let me clarify. Let me clarify.
Either you help them pass it. One minute. You can say, don't worry about the others. We'll help you pass the bill. We'll do it that way.
They will not do that.
1 minute, Satyavrat ji. They should not do that. Our leaders are having a series of meetings, and we are going to move amendments. We are going to move amendments on the issue of CBI. We will move amendments on the question of this.
They will create hindrances rather than supporting.
Strong and effective Lokpal in the real sense. Now, till that Lokpal comes, we are not going to support the bill.
Okay.
Now, just a minute.
Is this going to become another women's reservation bill? I'm asking you, Shazia.
This is
chasing a perfect bill. Is this going to become another women's reservation bill? We'll be arguing this in another big fight 7 years from now.
Vikram,
it's time for a Lokpal bill to come.
They will not support us.
They've done it
We wanted it to be an effective Lokpal.
Even if we have to wait 8 years for it.
We didn't want constitutional status. That was a game-changing idea that Rahul Gandhi had. So they've introduced this whole shenanigan of constitutional because it was not needed. And now they're saying they'll need 2/3 support. So this is what we said is going to be a scuttling tactic, which we can see is happening. And we predicted it 2 months back.
Scuttling tactic.
They would not, BJP would not want to support us for one excuse or one pretext or the
No,
other,
your
they
bill
will
is not
oppose
worth
us.
supporting.
They will
Why
create
should
as
we
many
support
hindrances
that?
as possible.
Your bill is not
And
worth
when
supporting.
we want to garner support of
That
other
bill is not
political
worth
parties,
supporting.
then they would come and accuse us of having playing to the gallery. Now, this is the kind of attitude and this is the kind of political honesty that they have.
They have purposely introduced a bill which no party can support. They have introduced this bill.
Okay, can I ask both of you who've been sitting slightly bemused for the last 5 minutes, what is your view on this entire minority quota? And is it a deliberate structuring tactic?
Yeah, on this I'm with
I
you.
don't know, but if it is, I'm very glad. This bill requires much greater deliberation, much more discussion. It needs to be gone through in great detail, in
can I
great
just
depth.
say-
And I want the Parliament to devote
Shazia is
time to
nodding
that.
ahead and saying yes, but Shazia, you're the same person who said that the bill must come now in this session of Parliament.
No,
You can't have it both
not
ways.
at all.
No,
The
we have
idea is to have an
elected-
honest discussion. No, I'm finishing. Let me say something. I'm
We
saying
have
if
elected
the idea is to
our
have a,
MPs.
no, listen to me. If the idea is to have an honest and sincere discussion on the provisions of Lokpal, we will know it and we will not do what we are saying. But we can see the whole idea is to obfuscate and delay and deflect, which is what we are protesting.
Okay, now back to you, Amitabh.
We have elected our parliamentarians to give reasoned deliberation over legislation. That is what their responsibility is. They will abdicate their responsibility if they pass this bill in a hurry.
Okay, fine. I'm going to take a break, then I'm going to ask the people in whose name all of this is actually happening. When we come back after this break, we'll be just back in a couple of minutes. Don't go away.
Daddy, I'm scared.
For God's sake, change the ringtone.
Who is it?
Chinnappa.
Chinnappa, I can't talk to you now. We're in the middle of Brahmaputra.
Welcome to a whole new world, Assam. So much to see, so much to explore. You'll be glad you came.
The iPhone 4S has an all-new camera with 8 megapixels and advanced optics. So it lets you capture stunning photos. And because it's an iPhone, you can do things you never imagined possible with a camera. So maybe the only camera you need is the one on the most amazing iPhone yet.
Nisa Basmati rice, pure and traditional, a bit of God in every grain.
आइए बैठे।
मैं अपना मोबाइल घर बुलाया, कल आता हूँ।
चुप रहिए, बहाना बनाना छोड़िए। शरीर में इतनी तकलीफ है और
बताओगे नहीं तो ठीक कैसे होगा? यौन संक्रमण ही तो है। पूरा इलाज करेंगे और बात रहेगी सिर्फ आपके और हमारे बीच।
डर को भगाइए, निकटतम सरकारी अस्पताल में यौन संक्रमण का इलाज करवाइए।
All is well. Your son, he's the one carrying your name forward. Big man. Little rascal. The heir to your throne. One day he will step into your famous shoes, but right now, get time to help him find his feet. Because how we spend our time makes us who we are. Photon Plus. Get speed. Get more time for life.
मिस्टर और मिसेस शर्मा ने कार ली लोन पर और किश्तों में चुकाने का वादा भी किया। कुछ दिन तो अच्छे गए, पर जब मिस्टर शर्मा किश्त नहीं चुका पाए तो बैंक ने उनकी कार जब्त कर ली। और जब मिस्टर शर्मा किश्त चुकाने गए तो
आपकी गाड़ी तो हमने बेच दी।
बेच दी?
सॉरी सर।
जब वादे हो जाए झूठे और दिल अपना टूटे।
सुबह उन्होंने हमारी गाड़ी बिना हमें नोटिस दिए बेच दी।
शर्मा जी कंज्यूमर फोरम गए। वहाँ फैसला ये हुआ कि बैंक उनको 1.5 लाख रुपया यानी कार की मार्केट वैल्यू और जब से कंप्लेन लिखवाई है तब से अब तक की रकम पर पूरे 9% ब्याज दे।
जागो ग्राहक जागो।
Yo, people in the house, let's get the bride and groom together. Let's party!
Welcome back to the big fight. Let me do some quick unscientific snap polling. If you would back Anna Hazare if he went back on hunger strike. Okay, why would you back him?
Because I feel Congress just playing a game with Anna Group. And their first time they promised they will bring it. They made a committee where they got the Anna Group also. They made one report and suddenly in the last they scrapped that.
Okay, but do you agree? Is there anybody here who feels, as we were saying earlier, that the Anna Hazare and his team essentially are wanting their version and nothing but their version, and that's wrong? Who feels that? He feels that.
See, in the democracy, each and every society, whether it's the civil society led by Anna ji, has the right to say something. But ultimately, at the end of the day, the parliamentarians are there. They should certainly discuss in the parliament. We have selected them. We have elected them. And then after the debate, the bill should be passed.
Okay, fine. One more comment, gentlemen.
And whatever bill the Congress has come up to, it's really toothless. And whatever Anna ji is doing is really great. We should back him up for his constant, you can say.
Okay. Fine. I'm going to get final thoughts from all of you. Just 10 seconds each, starting with you, Chandan.
Well, I think the next week is a very, very crucial week. Government has put its demolition squad in kind of action. Mr. Lalu Yadav already gave us a trailer what is going to happen. And this has been, this will, I think, honestly, at this rate, I don't see this bill going through, which is exactly what the government intends. And then I worry about what's going to happen if the Anna...
Are you going to be joining the jail, Bharu?
Sorry?
Are you going to be joining the jail, Bharu?
No, we have nothing to do with Anna. So
anybody here joining the jail, Bharu, just out of curiosity?
A strong Lokpal bill.
Yes. I'll
Okay,
be going to the jail.
fine. Amitabh.
This is a legislation of far-reaching consequences. It requires great debate. There's room for enormous public debate on this. It should not be pushed in a hurry. Number two, it is something which is going to irreparably, in my view, irreparably damage the fabric of our parliamentary democracy by creating an alternate structure of state power, which will have enormous power concentrated in its hands. We have to be very careful on how we design it.
They have an excellent appreciation of the problem, but they do not have an adequate appreciation of the solution. One point, Vikram. There are enormous good officers in this system who are doing extraordinary work in the CBI and outside. There are many more bad officers too. This bill is going to be a huge draconian bill for those good and honest officers who will tomorrow be scared to act.
Okay, fine. Right.
This is a genie which will get out of the bottle. Once it gets out of the bottle, it will be absolutely impossible to put it back.
Which is the genie, the government version or the Anna, Team Anna version, or both?
Both. Because what we have built in last 64 years, the kind of constitution, the kind of system which has met the challenges of history, whatever challenges came to our society, a country like India would have been, broken into 20 pieces if we had not worked. The checks and balances which have worked.
Okay,
so
Rahul.
What we are suggesting now is extremely dangerous, so we should think about it 10 times.
When I see the Lokpal bill, nothing short of a white elephant. There are enough mechanisms and laws in place to deal with corruption. Let the government apply its mind and work on implementation. That will solve the problem.
Okay, Shazia.
I don't know about white elephants and pink panthers here at all, but I'd like to just say one thing that, I think we're on the cusp of something historic right now. And when they talk about parliamentary democracy being under a scanner, this is actually deepening of democracy when people participate in the lawmaking processes and say, give us a bill that works. So forget about Anna Hazare if you have serious misgivings about his methods or the path, but give us a bill that works. I really implore and pray that parliamentarians really rise above petty politics and narrow vested interests and give something that this nation needs and addresses the real issues of the common person.
Before I get final thoughts from you, I have to say I do sympathize to some extent. Half the panel is saying it's way too draconian, and the other half of the panel is saying that, it's not strong enough.
That's the dilemma we are put into. There are people who accuse us of bringing a very weak bill. There are others who accuse us of bringing a draconian bill.
So
now, which way to go? That is the dilemma. That is the dilemma.
He's saying that you're scuttling the bill.
The irony of the bill is
now,
many ways.
Who is accusing us of scuttling the bill? Those who are opposing the bill.
No,
they are accusing us of scuttling the bill.
Okay.
Now, my last words.
Okay,
final words. I recognize and respect the right of any individual in this country and every citizen to raise political issues and to fight for them and express their opinion, yes. But at the end of the day, we must not forget that we have a constitution, we have a parliament, we have a system which has to be respected, otherwise the democracy itself will collapse. So therefore, let's not disrespect our own system. Let the system work, let the constitution work, let the parliament work, and in its collective wisdom, the parliament will do to the best of the interest of this nation.
All right.
The same constitution, the preamble of it starts with, we the people of India having solemnly resolved to constitute...
Obviously this discussion is going to continue.
We the people, not we the elected representatives.
Now you know why it's not a simple issue to resolve. We'll be probably back here next week after that, continuing to discuss this one issue.
Citizens of India.
But we are going to have to call it an end on this particular episode of The Big Fight. At least none of the cameras, the fight will continue off the camera. Thank you so much for being with us. Bye for now.
HP Pavilion notebooks powered by 2nd Gen Intel Core i5 processors, now with blazing fast data speeds from MTS and Blaze. Create, share, and shine on with HP, MTS, and Intel.
This December, get ready to hear the truth.
Your mission, should you choose to accept,
is to rethink the impossible.
So what happens now?
JPM, hear the truth. Mission Impossible, Ghost Protocol, coming soon to a speaker near you.
A mystical voyage through time and space, through the past and the present, in search of himself. Join the world's most beloved author as he embarks on a journey of self-discovery. In his recent bestseller, Aleph.
Supermax 3. The 3-blade disposable, so good, you won't want to throw it away.
Nominate a driver before you go drinking. Drink responsibly.
Daddy, I'm scared.
For God's sake, change the ringtone.
Who is it?
Chinnappa.
Hey, Chinnappa, I can't talk to you now. We're in the middle of Brahmaputra.
Welcome to a whole new world, Assam. So much to see, so much to explore. You'll be glad you came.
छूट ये न जाए संभले इन्हें चंद भागे न लम्हे go grab it वो पल फिर मुड़ के न आएंगे ये कल आज ये पल है आज ये पल है
SanDisk, store your world in hours.
शामू भैया, सरकार कह रही है पूर्वी भारत में भी दूसरी हरित क्रांति आएगी।
अरे ये तो पंजाब और हरियाणा में हुआ था। यहाँ तो अनाज की पैदावार अब भी कम है।
सरकार की बातों में कुछ तो दम होगा। आखिर यहाँ बारिश 3 गुना होती है।
चलो वैज्ञानिक का नंबर मिलाते हैं।
अरे वाह, आ गए।
नमस्ते सरपंच जी। हाँ भाई, उपजाऊ जमीन की कीमत को पहचानो। जरूरत है सिर्फ सही किस्म और तकनीक अपनाने की। पूर्वी भारत में सरकार कम गहरे नलकूप और बोरवेल के निर्माण के लिए सहायता दे रही है।
लेकिन सरकार से मिलेगा क्या?
भरपूर मदद, जमीन की तैयारी से लेकर फसल की कटाई तक तकनीकी सलाह। 1000 हेक्टेयर के सैकड़ों क्षेत्रों में चावल और गेहूं के खास प्रदर्शन भी चल रहे हैं।
अरे वाह, फिर तो हमारे खेत भी लहला उठेंगे।
क्या ये सपना सच होगा?
हाँ जरूर, पूर्वी भारत अब हरित क्रांति का अग्रदूत होगा। आओ
हम सब मिलकर कदम बढ़ाएं।
What? Okay.
Phone? Tablet? Feel free. It's Galaxy Note.
किसके पास है 6000 एकर्स के ऑर्गेनिक फार्म्स?
75 सालों से न्यूट्रिशन का एक्सपर्ट है कौन?
कौन है विटामिन्स, मिनरल्स और डाइटरी सप्लीमेंट्स में दुनिया का लीडिंग ब्रांड?
दुनिया भर के लाखों कस्टमर्स आपको देंगे एक ही जवाब।
न्यूट्रलाइट।